this. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, obviously.
Okay, cool. Um, cool. So let's kind of go into a little bit more on like more practical uses, right? So we know the basic commits. We know how to pull. We know how to push, right? Remember, push just pushes whatever code you have from your current side to there, right? And then for the sake of like experimenting, I'll just delete this repository from my like side as well, just so that you guys can see how I would probably use this from start to finish, right? So let's say if this was like an open source. Oh, I have to like completely close all this. My bad. I'm gonna delete this. Cool. And so let's say this was like an open source and I did want to contribute to like a GitHub account or GitHub, right? I'm gonna go into the sorry, go into here. Um, Also thank you, Brandon, for hosting this. Yeah. Cool. So let's say again, I want to contribute to this like code repository, whatever. Um, And then, yeah, I'm completely new to this. I'm interested in helping with this, right? So what I would do is,
Sorry. You're good. Like after you're done demoing,
Mhm.
there's like the little website at the end of the slides.
Yeah,
So you could have that. People do that.
yeah. So yeah, right. So let's say I want to commit to this. So first of all, I need to have this on my local repo. I need to have this locally, right? This is all on the server. We don't have that here. Um, so I'm gonna open up terminal, and then to do this, first of all, I need to clone this, right? So I'm gonna do git clone. Git clone, and then this is just git clone on whatever the website is. And the website is just here, right? You click on code, you click on HTTPS, click on copy to clipboard, and then boom, right? So I'm gonna click git clone here. And notice how I'm using like terminal. It's because Git kind of doesn't care where you use them on, as long as it's on your path. If Git isn't in your path, they'll give you a big error. If that does happen, you guys can always ask me for help, right? So git clone, and then we do that, and it's gonna clone all that. Now I have that all in my local repository, right? And to see that, you guys can see that it's here, right? It says weekly workshop now, right? Any questions so far? I'm not confusing anyone. If anyone does have any questions, please ask me. I would rather you guys bother me now than like and then be confused later, right? So cool. I'm gonna go into my stuff here. I'm gonna go here, right? Now, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna show more option. I'm gonna open with code, and then I'm going to be here, right? So let's say I'm gonna just show you guys that right now this repository has a few branches. So we have like week one, we have like week one, week two. Let's say we want to go on to week three, right? And so what we would do is we would make a new branch, right? So what Brandon taught you guys was get branch. That works. You have to do git branch, git checkout. That works. The one that I use, again, there's no like correct way to do it. So long as it works, right? You would do git checkout. Sorry. So let's say I want to do it like a week three, right? So do git branch. Um, sorry. Sorry. This checks the git branch right now. We can check out to week two if we want to check out week two. So git checkout. Um, week two. And then you guys can see that now it's switched to week two, right? And if you want to switch back to week one, we can do git checkout week one, right? So just a quick recap, checkout just basically switches your tabs, right? Like switches which branch you guys are working on. And then commit just commits to whatever branch that you're working on right now, right? Cool. So again, let's say we want to create a new branch, but we don't want to create the branch off of this branch, right? We want to when you create a branch, you're basically copying the code and making it into a separate branch, right? And so let's say we want to do it for this one, we want to go to the main one, right? So what we do is we just git checkout to main, right? So switch to main first, right? So first git checkout to main, and then we would just do git checkout dash B. And then I'll call this like week three, right? So now we're switched on to week three. You guys can see that all our code that we do right now isn't going to be on the server right now, right? It's going to be all locally, and whatever changes we make will only affect us locally, right? So let's just do that, right? Let's say we don't want to have this index.html, right? Let's just say this thing looks ugly. I don't know, for whatever reason, right? So we delete this, move to recycling bin, and now if you go git status, right? You can see that it says deleted stock predictor, that thing, right? And then same thing, right? If we want to commit it, we would do git commit dash m, and then and then we'll make it like meaningful this time, right? We'll say like feature deleted the main the index.html for performance reasons or whatever, right? Right. Cool. And then sorry, I never added it to it. So we have to first add it. So git add all. I'm lazy, so I do git add all, but you don't have to. But again, git commit that, and then cool, it's committed locally. So now what happens is let's say I don't let's say I want this back, right? I want to revert back to this. We now have a point in time here. Is there markers here? There's no markers here. But we basically now have a point of growth. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at this. Okay, so what basically happens is now we have a saved version of it. Oh, people on Zoom can't see this phone. Oh shoot, that's a problem. But basically we now have a saved version, which is if we do something like this, which was git log. Sorry, if we do git log, you guys can see that we have a bunch of previous commits that we have, right? So now let's say we want to go back for any other reason, we can just revert back to it, right? And there's a command for that, which is git revert. Again, what I like to do is I like to go scorched earth and make a new branch because it's super easy that way. But if you guys are like super good at this, you guys can use like git revert, right? So yeah, right. And if you guys want to exit this, you just Q, right? Cool. So yeah, right. That's basically about it for like the basics of Git. And then again, if you want to push it, you push it. If you want to merge it to main, we can also merge that to main as well. So because I think the main branch needs to be changed anyways. So let's just say we want to git push this, right? So first we git push, right? You'll see that it says git push, like you got to do that. That's because right now there is no branch on the repository that is associated with week 3, right? So what we need to do is we need to actually set an upstream, right? And what that does essentially is get this local branch, push it to an upstream, which is our server, and create that branch there as well, right? So I'm going to copy this. And again, if anything doesn't make sense, please let me know. So we would do git push, excuse me. Oh, sorry, week 3. There you go. Cool. And so then it's going to push all that there. And then now if you guys go up to here, you guys can see that week 3 has recently pushed 2 seconds ago. And then we can say compare and pull request. And yeah, right. Go to main. All right, let's do this. And then boom, we have a week 3 there, right? And then usually people will like do like PRs and like pull requests and like make sure that your code doesn't look like crap. We're not doing that right now because my code does look like crap. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try and merge this to main, right? And so to merge this, usually there are protective measures in place, like if you have GitHub Pro. But because right now we're just kind of talking about the concepts, we now have our code from Git, like we now have our code from one branch. We want to combine it with the other branch, right? So what to do that, all we would have to do is go to git checkout main. So git checkout to the where you want to go to, right? So git checkout main, right? So we switch to main branch. Now we want to merge to, we now want to merge our code branch, right? We want to merge our code, right? So we do git merge week 1 or week 4, sorry. Week 4, no, week 3, sorry. My bad. I can't type. So we have git merge week 3. And then it says that, right? And it basically just combined the 2 branches together. And in this case, since there wasn't a lot of like big changes, all it did was just delete it over there, right? And right now, you guys can still see that it's not pushed to the repository as well. So if you go here, you guys can still see that the index.html is still there, right? Sorry, it's public. Yeah, you guys can see that index.html is still, oh, you guys can't see this. Like, you guys are here, you guys can't see it. But the index.html is still here. The thing that you guys see, like, if you want to, again, make your merges like public to the server or to the repository, you would just have to push your changes. And to do that, you just do git push. And then, boom, right? And then now if I refresh this, you guys can see that the index.html. No, you guys can't see it because you guys, the screen here is absolute crap, but yeah. So you guys have any questions so far about everything that I've sort of said? Is there anything like, is anything confusing to you guys? If there isn't, there's also a website where you guys can also practice this. And I think it's just Michael, do you remember the website off the top of your head? The website where you can practice the Git at? I hate you. There's like a small like game you guys can use for that, but basically everything that we talked about today is going to be like cover 99% of the Git commands you'll use in college, right? Once you get into like the industry, you'll learn about rebasing, cherry picking, but I think those are like very, very like unique. Have you ever done cherry picking before? You done rebasing before? Okay, good.
I do want to show you one thing though. Am I
Uh-huh.
on the mic now? Okay, so one thing that is super useful is that you actually don't have to memorize half of the commands that you just learned. I don't know if any of them went over this, but there's this thing right here called source control. So this is my favorite thing ever. And can I change whatever? Doesn't matter. I'm on main. This is week 3.
Yeah. No, this is main, but it's fine. I need a score share main as well. Okay, well, you don't have to. Again, these are all bash commands. So like if you use like Linux, but
So let's say I want to make a change. I'm just gonna do it I'm just gonna make a new file. And I'm gonna call it, yeah, your sensitivity is high, .md. So now we have whatever stuff here. We made a change to the thing. Just click on source control, and now your change is right here. And it makes it super easy. So we're just gonna add a message saying added a file. And then if you right click this, it has all these options that says stage changes, discard changes, add ticket, ignore, all this. But honestly, you can ignore it, hit commit. It's gonna say, would you like to stage all changes? Just hit yes, and then it'll like do it. You can sync changes. This is the equivalent of doing git push and
I mean good pull.
git push. Sync changes pushes. And then now if we check back on
So
this one, right? Right. And we check back on the repository, go to week 3, and then we'll see our commit is right here, edit a file. And this is what we just committed. That's if you don't want to memorize any of the commands, and in my opinion, it's like way better to use. But yeah.
it's up to you guys if you guys want to like remember this or not. Again, there's multiple ways to do something, right? Yeah. And then I think there's like a GitHub game that we can talk about. There you go. Cool. This is the GitHub games. It kind of covers a lot of the things that we talked about today. There's a lot more about this because this goes super in depth. And again, like for the basics, you'll have like have your like git commits and stuff like that. Oh my gosh. There's like detach, there's stuff like that. But for the sake of just like, time for today, I think we're gonna leave it off at that. And then again, if you guys are interested in that, it's called a game called learngitbranching.js.org. And then yeah, right. So yeah. Um, yeah. One thing I will say is if you do understand the Git bash. So I will say one thing I will say is that if you guys do understand the Git bash, it does help a lot with automating things. But that said, that will rarely ever happen. Like I think either in your career, that's never happened to like the people that I talk to. But again, it's just one way of doing it, right? So whatever is easy to for you guys, whatever floats you guys go, do whatever. I'm not here to judge. I don't even use GitHub anymore. So yeah. Cool. So that's about it for today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If not, then that should be the end of our meeting. So yeah. Cool. Thank you guys for coming. Cool. Um, I think I'm gonna end the meeting. Cool. Thank you guys. Bye bye.